Hello everybody and welcome to our pop-up session in the well-known team of Jens.
Hello.
And myself. Today, as you can see, we're in our showroom again in front of our nice machines, and today we do have a really interesting topic. We're going to talk about the exhaust air treatment. So just to get started, why is it actually necessary that we have something to treat our exhaust air when we roast?
Yeah, so actually roasters are not really keen about talking this topic because it's might be special and might lead to additional costs to set up your roastery. But sometimes, as we all know, there is smell, there is smoke released by the roasting process, and this smell and this smoke comes from the coffee, not from the natural gas or the propane gas or the electrical heating. It's just from the coffee, and yeah, there are neighbors who are not that keen on having the smell or the smoke all the day.
Yeah, and also it's depending on where you're located, and of course also what coffee you roast, and all these parameters of course matter, and there's of course something that we can offer to help people who have a problem with that, right?
For sure, for sure. We have different solutions, and one solution is our filter system. I can show you a picture. Here we see the setup of a P5 with the cyclone, which is always part of our scope of supply, to separate the chaff from the air, and then we have the filter box. As we can see, it's a kind of passive filter, so there's no additional electricity, no gas or electricity needed, so no power at all. And in this filter box, we have filter cassettes, so I can show this as well. We have a filter cassette, and in this filter cassette, we have a kind of granulate, and by means of this granulate, the odor is somehow reduced. I can show the granulate as well. So I hope that everybody can see it. Like this. So that's the granulate which is inside the filter cassette, and it's a natural product. It's an activated carbon which is coated, and it needs to be coated since the usual temperature for activated carbon is 50 degrees, 50 to 60 degrees. In our roasters, as we know, as we have the separate flows for roasting air and cooling air, we have higher temperatures, and that's why we have to, let's say, secure the activated carbon
by an extra layer
to get burned.
Yeah. So then the energy that we're actually getting with that warm exhaust air from the roasting is enough. This will be filtered, this is why it's coated, so there is no extra need of any energy for this filter. And what can we expect from this filter in terms of how much does it reduce the smell?
So the good thing with the filter, it's a quite easy system, so easy to set up, easy to clean, easy to maintain. The granulate has to be replaced depending on the machine you have, with a P12 every 4 tons, with a P5 every 2 tons of operation or of roasted coffee. So that's quite easy. The disadvantage in high phones is you cannot get a full elimination. It's just 70-75% reduction of the smell.
Okay, so the neighbors will still smell there's something going on, probably
but it's
not
significantly reduced.
Yeah, probably not that it's roasting coffee, but you do smell something.
Yeah.
And is there alternatives if people say we are not allowed to have any smell at all, any smoke at all? There must be a solution for this as well. Yeah,
in case that no smell, no smoke is allowed, we have to go for another system. This could possibly be a catalytic oxidizer, catalytic converter. We recently signed a partnership with the German company Reichert, and Reichert offers electrically heated catalyzers, which suit quite perfectly to our P-series roasters. So, and with the catalyzer, you can achieve no smell, no smoke.
Cool. And for this, I do know that there has been a talk between Jens and Manuel from Reichert, and we're gonna switch and show you the video of this talk so you get more and more information to that.
today we have Manuel with us. Manuel works with Reichert, and he's calling us from Bologna. Manuel, thanks for your time and that you are available for us to answer some questions regarding the Reichertino.
Thanks a lot, Jens. It's a pleasure for me. It's the first time that I am part of this pop-up. It will follow for sure some more pop-ups together, and yeah, so I'm glad to be here.
Perfect. Okay, then we should directly start. So, when talking about the Reichertino catalyzer, what can customers expect when they install a Reichertino in combination with a PROBAT roaster? So what's especially in view to what about smell and smoke?
Yes, so thanks a lot for the direct advice. So the Reichertino stands for no smell, no smoke, happy neighbors. And you can expect for sure that you don't have so that the roastery they don't have any more smell and smoke or complaints from the neighborhood concerning smell and smoke coming from the roasting process, and for sure also hot air, hot pure air.
Okay, and if we compare the Reichertino with a traditional afterburner that some of our customers might know, what are the major differences? What are the advantages of the system?
The main advantage of Reichertino for sure is that it's completely electrical. So we have an hot air blower, so electrical hot air blower, and we don't use any more gas. So we want to Reichert and PROBAT. They share the same goal to go away in the future from fossil fuels and to go away from the gas and both companies they point this is one of the key points of the partnership that you're going to also to read in one official communication of PROBAT. Both companies they have the goal to go on environmental friendly and with no gas combinations, and this is why we are going to push on this combination of PROBAT roasters, maybe mainly electrical roasters plus Reichertino, so that it's electrical.
And you also provided a kind of you also provided a kind of diagram where we can see that the Reichertino works with lower temperatures compared to afterburners, right?
Yes, so thanks a lot for sharing it. And as you can see, after the cyclone, mainly you can have a temperature of 150 up to 180 degrees, and the Reichertino works with more or less 250 degrees. Actually, mainly most of the times also with a lower temperature. We have an operative temperature of 230 degrees. And compared with other systems like an afterburners, you can expect more than the 50% of over the 50% of energy saving. And yeah, so these are the two main advantages. So that we don't work with huge temperature, 600, 700 degrees. And at the same time, we avoid to use gas. So low temperature, low energy cost, and no gas.
Sounds quite good. And what other advantages do customers have when using a Reichertino?
Yes, so the first one, for sure, the most important for the customer is that the efficiency of the system. So the proved efficiency, Reichert sold already hundreds of Reichertino, and it's proved that we reach a huge efficiency both in terms of smell and smoke deriving from the roasting process, and then for sure we want our friends, our roasters, to focus on their product, and we don't want that they have a lot of maintenance. We don't want that they care a lot about our units. So the system is compact, and at the end we have almost no maintenance. So we speak about low maintenance up to no maintenance.
Okay, and what does that mean? Low to no maintenance. What do customers have to do on a daily basis?
Okay, this is also good to clear, because this is what is important for at the end for the customers. On daily basis, the only thing that the customer has to do is to clean our pre-filter. Our pre-filter is something that we position between the cyclone of PROBAT and the Ricatino. And it's more or less a double security in order to avoid that organic parts get in contact with our Ricatino. We want to avoid you as roaster that you put your hands in the Ricatino. This means that you have to clean only once a day or every second day our pre-filter, and but it's not like a real maintenance, because we speak about 45-60 second work. So this is why we speak about no maintenance.
Okay, so that means the Ricatino itself is more or less has to be considered as a closed box, which the customers don't have to touch.
Yes, so this is maybe also a good description, because you don't have like to put off the modules to clean it with air or with special soaps or something like that.
Okay.
Or you don't have like spare parts. Also, this is another point. So you don't have to change anything. So the lifetime of Ricatino, it's huge. So we speak about years and years and years, and and we have like 30,000 hours as expected lifetime. And if our customers calculate how much is 30,000 hours, it's so lifelong.
Yeah. You can do a lot of roasts then. And you already mentioned that the Ricatino is electrically heated. Can you say something about the energy consumption? So how much money do customers have to consider to run the Ricatino? I know that you can say something because you provided already a kind of a small calculation.
Yes. Okay. You share it. Thanks for that. This helps. For example, you see we have this table. You see only the Ricatino 450, but we together with PROBAT we provide three kinds of Ricatino: the Ricatino 100, the 450, and the 600. Concerning the Ricatino 450, you see that there is a maximum output of 11 kilowatt. And but actually it doesn't work to the maximum level. So we use in average 8 kilowatt for the Ricatino 450, and the maximum of 17 kilowatt, but in average 12 for the Ricatino 600 for the higher version, so for the bigger version. And yes, so your second question was about the cost, right? Not only about the energy consumption, so about the cost. So the cost we can calculate more or less like less than 10 cent per kilo coffee, so something like 8 cents, but it depends for sure about a lot of factors: the inlet temperature, the outlet temperature. We work in international base, so we have to like to say in average it's more or less 8 cents.
Yeah, because in your calculation we have around 18 euros a day, but this is calculated based on 8 hours a day. So if customers are now running, for example, a P12 with 3 to 4 batches an hour, so they can do 40 kilogram per hour multiplied with 8, so you can do a lot of coffee. And if you then do the calculation, it's as you said, less than 10 cents, which is quite low compared to other costs that have an impact on the price of the coffee.
Yeah, and you see that which is the energy saving in comparison with gas. So we get rid of gas. We don't work anymore with gas, and we have a huge saving in comparison with working with 600 degrees gas. After burn.
Okay, so when we talk about the installation. I share my screen again. So we did some layouts already with our P series roasters, and as we can see here, we always have the roasting machine. We have the separate cyclone, which is always part of our basic scope of supply. So this is always included at PROBAT, no matter whether we are talking about a P5, P12, or P25. And then it's going to the Ricatino. I suppose we do see the pre-filter that you were talking about before here. So this is the pre-filter that needs to be cleaned on a regular basis, which means if we have a look at the setup here, this is quite easily done. All you have to have is, let's say, 1 square meter of space to set up the Ricatino, the rack for the Ricatino. What else do customers need to know if they consider to install a Ricatino?
Okay, so you mentioned already the space. The space is also, I said already before, it's we have a huge advantage, and you see that in the skid of PROBAT we optimize also the space. So we our technical teams work together in order to get also all the system, the whole system, also smaller, so that you can in a small space you can install both the unit and the Ricatino, either in a vertical or horizontal way. This is also one point to mention. So, yes, so you have to, it's a huge advantage. You mentioned already, Jens, so that it's a huge advantage that PROBAT delivers always an external cyclone. In other cases, for example, we have the problem that the cyclone is not external, and there are potential problems if you don't have these conditions. And yes, so the only thing that you have to care about is that you have 2 outlets, one for the roasting and one for the cooling. And this one, for example, it's always the case in with, for example, with your units, with PROBAT units. And yes, so the other thing is that the chimney has to be always clean, because you have we have to avoid. So it's important to avoid to install an high efficient unit like Ricatino, and then you have a dirty chimney, and the chimney has to be able to get temperature, the exhaust air volume, so the whole exhaust air volume of the unit, plus the hot air blower of Ricat, and at the same time has to be has to work also with a maximum temperature of 230 up to 250 degrees. So we know that in comparison with the afterburner, you don't need a huge temperature, but we don't have to forget that the difference with and without Ricatino is that you have a small increase in the temperature.
Yeah. So in normal conditions, you would just have 150 degrees Celsius. And with the Ricatino, we have up to 250 degrees Celsius. And this is, of course, something that customers have to keep in mind. And in addition to the things that you already mentioned, we have to have a chimney which is, let's say, 1 to 2 sizes larger than in standard conditions. So when talking about a P12, we usually have 150 millimeter diameter for the roasting air. With the Ricatino, we would be at 200 millimeters. But this is possibly even more important for retrofits. So in case that the Ricatino is installed afterwards, so then of course we have to check whether the existing chimney system can cope with the Ricatinos, which means with the slightly higher air volume and the slightly higher temperatures.
Yeah, thanks a lot for mentioning that, because I forgot to say this is an important point also. But I have to say also at the same time that Ricat and PROBAT, also that we started recently the collaboration. We have a huge experience, so already a huge experience. Ricat has a huge experience with the PROBAT systems, and this one was a great starting point. So. And we are working on that. So we are working on that also to innovate.
Exactly. So last but not least, what kind of Ricatino? So which Ricatino fits to which machine at PROBAT? Let me see. I should have the diagram as well.
Yes, so thanks for sharing. It's easier. So yeah, so we have, I mentioned before, the Ragatino 100 for the P1, and then we have the 450 for the P5, P12, and UG 15. And then our Ragatino 600 with the PROBAT UG 22 and the P25. And we have also industrial solutions for the G series. So yeah, so we have solutions up to the G120. And
Okay.
also
Yeah, perfect. I mean, I think now we have a very good overview of what the Ragatino is capable of, and to my mind, we have a very good solution for customers that are facing issues with their neighbors or that want to avoid issues in advance. And yeah, thanks for your time, and see you next time somewhere in the coffee world.
Thanks a lot, and we are really happy that for the collaboration we started already great, and we are developing. It's also important to say that we are developing already the next versions and the next innovative stuffs together. So I think that the customer and your client can wait for some good news in the future.
Yeah, it's definitely worth to stay tuned.
Yes.
Okay.
So
ciao,
to
Manuel.
the next pop-up. Thank you. Ciao, ciao.
Well, thanks to Manuel and Jens, we now have some more insights and we do know how it works and what can be paired together. So that was super interesting. Thank you, Jens. Just in the video now right here with me. So, ooh, super magic. And we also saw there is no questions in the chat. Do you have some? I guess no. So I also don't have any questions. So I think the explanation was quite well done. If there's anything that you think of afterwards, of course, always contact us, let us know, and we're going to answer all your questions. And just to make you a little bit curious for the next session that will take place in April the 11th, we're going to roast something pretty cool. So it will be almonds that will be roasted. So stay tuned for this session. And for today, we say thanks you
for watching.
And goodbye.
Bye.